All righty, let's try this again. Take number 3. Welcome in the Tusketeer Hogcast. I'm Bones. We have Camo. No Buck tonight as he is celebrating his birthday a week in advance. That's because that's your birthday ahead of time, not on your actual birthday, or maybe on your actual birthday. I don't know. My birthday is just another day, but for Buckman, I mean, you're turning 33.
Oh, he gets a whole week or a month.
33, there's nothing significant about turning 33. So it's fine. Hey, I love Buck. Happy birthday. I keep saying again, but people are listening won't know what I'm talking about because they haven't been on the last 2 takes. It's just us. So last week we ended the show talking about, coaching search. Well, really not ended. The whole episode was about coaching search. But I said there at the end, think about this and let's continue the conversation next week. When we hire a coach, does he bring in his own coordinators, or do we even hire those positions individually as well? And I'm really just talking about the OC and DC. I can see it both ways, Camo. I don't know about you, but I think there's an argument for both ways, or doing it both ways, because we are past the point of no return. It's get it right this time, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. So I'd kind of like to hear your thoughts on that, and we'll just take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously seen what was wrong, where we were failing. I think if you keep those guys, you're keeping what's failed in a way. And not that they're failures, but they were just failing at this particular year and getting the guys to play hard. So I think making the decisions that we have, uh, letting go who we've let go has made sense. It's just a matter of what can Bobby do and what can the rest of the staff do to try to salvage what we've got left here. And
Yeah.
hopefully they can. I'm optimistic. I'm always optimistic when it comes to the Hogs. I think if we just lived in our sorrows of being Hog fans, it wouldn't make it much fun. So we got to find a way to grasp at straws and find some positivity in the rest of the season and what could possibly happen. I don't think there's a better coach than Bobby Petrino in the country that could just come in and take over and be an interim head coach and hit the ground running.
Yeah.
I mean, it does help that he's been here the last 2 years.
And it helps
to be familiar.
Yeah, familiar. He's familiar with the program. I mean, he knows the state's expectations of the Razorbacks. I mean, he gets it. I will agree that we probably have the best possible case for an interim coach.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that, as well, but, there's something to be said for, Bobby Petrino, not having anybody enter the transfer portal that I've seen. I know we have had some decommitments, which I understand the decommitment part, because they want to, obviously the recruits are trying to take some sort of control back in their favor into what they're going to do with their future. And now that we don't know who the coach is going to be, obviously they're going to take a step back and reevaluate.
Yeah.
So the decommitments make sense, but I just think it's a testament to our players and a testament to what they believe in and each other and who's leading them and Bobby Petrino, that I haven't seen a one enter the transfer portal.
Well,
that may be because they've got to get their their playing time, finish the season to get their NIL. I don't know what's in their player contracts or what all that looks like, to be honest with you, but I was expecting at least a few to enter, and that says a lot about the team.
Yeah, well, what I'll say about that is, and I'll give my response to the question as well. But I think the biggest reason why we haven't seen anybody in the portal is because we were 5 games through the season, and there's and I think we talked about it last week. I know I brought it up, but remember if they did enter the portal, they lose a year of eligibility and they have to sit out the rest of the year. They can't. They're not eligible instantly, so they have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
And everybody's got their team.
yeah
Everybody's
yeah.
got their
Everybody's
team.
got
They're
their
not going to
team.
say,
Yeah
oh, oh, the Razorbacks fired their coach. Let's go try to get one of their players and plug them in
yeah. Let's
mid-season
go
and start them
try to
over a
get
guy
Taylor Green
that's
and
been
you're something.
practicing.
And I'm not saying he would even entertain it, but yeah, there's no one doing that because they're not eligible to play. So I think that has a lot to do with it. While if it was the third or fourth game and we maybe fired Petrino, fired Pittman after maybe Memphis, then there might have been a few hit the portal, especially if the same things transpired with firing Travis Williams and the whole defensive staff. Maybe so.
Yeah.
But I did hear on the radio from Caden Kittler, who is the redshirt junior offensive lineman, that practices since Petrino's taken over, practices are more efficient. They're getting more plays in. And he says there's a tempo. He says there's some players that understand what's happening and like the intensity that Petrino's bringing, and that
Yeah.
they're practicing hard, and that's whether or not it's fluff, I don't know, but it makes me feel good. you know, uh,
Well, I think you have to keep in mind that every player is different and they respond to different type of coaches different.
yeah,
Some guys are going to respond to the way Pittman led the practice, handled the players, better than some.
yeah,
And then some on the team is going to handle the way Bobby Petrino runs his practices and the way he handles his players and demands. They're going to be responsive to that as well. Not everybody, but and I don't know what that ratio is. I don't know if it's 80-20, 70-30, 50-50. I mean, you would obviously, now that Bobby Petrino's leading the team, you would want that number to be as high as possible.
yeah,
You would want as many people buying into what he's selling as far as the team goes, vast majority of them, if not everybody, but that's not reality. It's really hard to get 100 guys all on the same page, one accord, playing together, offense, defense, special teams,
yeah,
practicing like they need to. And I go back to this. I'll say this. They asked the Chicago Bears coach about winning and championships, and do you think your practice reflects a winning uh, tradition or winning? Obviously, they don't have a winning tradition because they're the Bears, but just something that reflects a championship caliber team. And his answer was no. I don't think our practices reflect a championship caliber team yet. Yet. And I know it sounds cliche, but you practice how you play. You play how you practice.
yeah,
And I really think Bobby Petrino probably is more experienced, more structured. He's found out what works, what don't work, and he's a demanding type of person, demanding type of coach, and I think he'll know the right buttons to press to get the most out of him. Now, what the most is that one win? Is it two wins? Is it four wins? We don't know. Um, Obviously, this team is flawed, but I don't think it's as flawed as what it's been made out to be. I know we're 2-3. We've lost three in a row, coming out of a bye week. This it could go either way.
yeah.
I
Well,
honestly think it's going to go one or two ways. We're either going to win one game and it's going to fall flat. We're going to go, 3-9, or we'll pull out a miracle and win, four more games out of the seven, and we'll get bowl
really,
eligible.
so you're
Yeah,
saying
I,
we can go still 7-5, huh?
I'm thinking that we could win two of these next three home games coming up. I'm not thinking we're going to beat Tennessee, but that's a possibility because we're 6-4 against Tennessee. Our last 10 matchups against them.
Yeah.
So we hold the record there.
And
Last
their
time
defense
we
is pretty iffy. I mean, we could score. I think we can click.
yeah, we're obviously going to have to outscore them to win and just hold them enough to get there. But I think if we can win the next 2 out of 3 home games against A&M, Mississippi State, Auburn, and then somehow come up with 2 more at the end of the year, either LSU, uh, Missouri, or I would actually go towards Texas and Missouri and losing to LSU. I think Texas has proved that they're vulnerable,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Arch Manning is not who they say he is,
Arch is not
at
who,
least at the moment.
yeah. Well,
At least at the moment. So there's a chance.
yeah.
It's going to be a tough road,
Yeah, I'm going
but
to take it week by week, but
who
I want
knows?
to go back to something you were saying about, maybe we're not as bad as we think we are. If that's the case, then I want to know what Travis Williams did to the defense to just lay down and not play for him. Because I mean, we were at the first game, and we saw it. I mean, Alabama A&M on their first drive drove down our throat and scored, and they were driving on their second drive, and I think a couple penalties and I don't know if I don't remember if it was a turnover or the penalty. We backed them up enough to where they were out of field goal range. Their penalties did where they had a punt, but they were driving down, and then we took over and yada yada yada. And same thing with Arkansas State. Memphis.
I'll tell you what I think it is.
So it really makes me wonder, did the defense, it could be a couple things. Did they just totally quit playing for Travis Williams? He lost him in preseason and something happened. Or were we really playing our best guys out there? Because if we were, dang, we're in trouble. I don't have much hope. So that's why I want to take it week by week for me. I'm not going to get excited or too excited. My expectations are extremely low. Be honest with you, I said it last week, maybe another 2 wins. 3 to me is kind of like the ceiling. But I don't think we get, as of right now, I don't think we become bowl eligible. I don't think we go 6-6 like I predicted. But yeah, I mean, it really does make me wonder, if how was our defense just so bad? How are they so bad?
Well, I think it was a little scheme. I think it was a little effort. I think it was a combination of all the things. They even asked Bobby Petrino that, what do you think made the defense struggle, when they did in these last 3 games? And he said, was it effort? Was it focus? Was it scheme? And he said, I think it's a combination of all 3. And I would have said that without hearing that.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Here's the main reason, I think. And this is just me being, skeptical.
Yeah.
It's consequence. T. Will he didn't give me the impression that he was a hard nosed, get into their butt type of coach. He was more of a player's coach and probably was a little bit loose on them, a little bit lackadaisical, didn't give them the consequences they needed when they failed in practice or when they didn't do what they needed to do.
Yeah.
They didn't fear that for their job, that if they didn't do what they needed to do, they were going to get pulled and somebody else be put in there like that.
Yeah.
And as well as I do, if you feel like you're not going to get caught or, there's no consequence to, your efforts, then you may have the tendency of slacking off and not trying as hard.
Yeah.
So I think it was a little bit of that too. So if we could fix a little bit of everything, get them to play harder, get them to focus more, change the scheme up a little bit, give us an opportunity to put us in the right positions to stop the run, then worry about the pass, and then obviously, give them a consequence if they don't do what they've been coached to do.
Yeah.
Then you might get somewhere.
Yeah, and I will say this: Pittman, I don't think was much like that. He was more of the players' coach, and we all know that. But what I think will be different is with Petrino is I do think we'll see more effort. I think we'll see with the new coordinator as of right now is Chris Wilson. If that's his official title is D coordinator, he's got some experience, but what I think the biggest difference is if our D backs are still just atrocious, and it really is that they suck, and they give no effort. The difference is Petrino will put a second or third stringer in that's going to be fighting his butt off, and you might get the same result from that second or third stringer, but at least they're trying, you know.
Yeah,
And
I would
giving the
rather
effort.
take I would rather take a 3-star guy with a 5-star effort over a 5-star guy with a 3-star
Yeah,
effort.
yeah, for sure.
Every every time.
Yeah,
Every time. So I think what you're saying is spot on
yeah,
for sure.
yeah, and he'll make those calls, and he's in his he's a head coach. Bobby Petrino is a head coach, and yeah, he's got the word interim before it, but I think he's going to treat it like he is the true head coach, and because I think he wants the job. I really do. I mean, I know he says
Yeah.
it, but I don't think he's just saying it for media and for clicks. I think he's saying it. I think he feels somewhat guilty for how he left the program. He's kind of looking back at the last 12 years of the of the Arkansas Razorbacks, and he's probably like, this
Well, he's
this
paid the
this
piper.
this
He not
started with me.
he not only lost his job. Oh yeah. And he not only lost his job, but he has not been it hadn't went well for him since then. I mean, look who he's coached. It hasn't been a big Power 5 team
Yeah,
that has just come calling and wanting Bobby Petrino. So this is almost like his second chance to revitalize the program, after he left it in shambles 12 years ago. And I think if he can get the job, he'll be here 3 or 4 more years, and he'll do his damnedest
yeah,
to try to get us to the college football playoff, and then retire and sell off into the sunset and say, listen, I know we had it good the first time, and I left for 12 years. I came back on a weird occasion, weird scenario, but you know what? I got the
yeah,
job, and I made it right.
yeah.
I made it right the last go around.
I was looking at the teams he's coached since Arkansas, and it's he went to Western Kentucky, then he went back to Louisville, then he went to Missouri State and almost beat us while he was at Missouri State, and then went to UNLV with was Barry Odom the coach? Did he hire Petrino
Yes, but
as
then he left, I think, and went to A&M to
he
go
left
with Jimbo
to
Fisher.
A&M, and he was hand tied there. He was hand tied because Jimbo Fisher hand tied him.
Hmm.
But looking at it, and it's got the rest of his coaching history before Arkansas, of course, too. I had no idea that Bobby Petrino was the offensive coordinator for Auburn in 2002. Did not know that.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
yeah, he sure was.
I mean, maybe that's
Hmm.
just my ignorance right there, but yeah, I guess he
Hmm.
did one season there. I don't know what happened. Don't know if it.
I want to say it was Tommy Tupperville
Yeah, 02
was
was
the
Tommy
offensive.
Tuberville was the coach.
Yeah, I want to say that it was either Gene Chizik or Tommy Tupperville, but I'm almost certain it was the Riverboat Gambler, Tommy Tupperville.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because Chiswick was after Tuberville. Chiswick, yeah,
Hmm.
Chiswick won the national championship.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so that's cool. But yeah, I think Petrino does, and I think he's going to give it his 110% effort all the time, and I think we're probably going to see that red face that we love to see in 2010 and 2011 on the sideline. Yelling at the refs and yelling at his
hmm,
players, and I really do, and
I think
I'll
he's
be
toned it down
excited.
a little on that
Yeah, I think so too. As he's matured, but yeah, I think
at
so.
50 something years
Yeah,
old or
at
60.
whatever however old he is. I think so too. Hey, he's 64. Yeah, he's 64. No, I agree. I think he's toned it down, but I still think he's proven something.
Yeah, I think he does feel like he's got something to prove, and what a full circle. It's I've seen and read a bunch of things about it, about this crazy full circle scenario that's transpired here at Arkansas, and it's kind of bittersweet. At the same time, it's disappointing. Uh, I say bittersweet because I hated to see Sam Pittman go,
Yeah.
but at the same time, knowing that we have Bobby Petrino to come in here and take over, you can't help just based off who he is, his offensive mind, his football knowledge, and then
What he's done, what he did for
having
us.
the
Yeah.
what he did for in the past, having a relationship with Taylor Green, and he works his quarterback, in practice. Everything runs through the quarterback in practice.
Yeah.
With Petrino, and I think if he can get our offense playing at a high level, which we've been decent, I think we can still be a tough team, a tough out for the teams we've got left.
Yeah.
Not saying we'll win them, but I think we can really, really compete.
Yeah, and we might catch someone just saying, "Oh, it's Arkansas. They've got too much going on. They're distracted, and this is a dub." And maybe we catch someone by surprise, and that's sleeping on us. So,
yeah,
I'll say that. I say we'll probably beat maybe a Texas or a Mizzou or a Tennessee that we weren't supposed to beat. I still think we could do that, but I'm still saying maybe 2 to 3 more wins. That's all. Which really is kind of playing out. Minus the 3
but
games.
I look at it though, Caleb. I look at it. If you can win 2 or 3 of what we have left, you can win 4 because this schedule is hard that we have left.
Yeah.
So if you can win 2 or 3, you're showing the capability you could have win more ball games or may possibly win more ball games. So I think it's you got to go either, nah, it's not going to happen for us, or you have to be optimistic and say, listen, these guys got a shot, and we need to act like they've got a shot, support them like they've got a shot, and remain optimistic.
Yeah.
Just
yeah. I mean, I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to be excited for the games when they come around. But I'm just not going to have my expectations that like we're going to win out or get to 6 or 7 wins. I mean, just because seriously, it's our defense. It's not going to be the effort on the offense. I promise you that. I mean, I know we're going to score, and the Notre Dame game was I don't know what that was, maybe a fluke on the offensive part, but we're going to score. That's going to happen. We're going to click. It's just the defense.
that was us feeling sorry for ourselves.
Yeah, maybe
that was
so.
us going, oh, we've lost 2 in a row, and poor us, and we're not going to come out here and try. We're going to get slaughtered by Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And knowing that if they don't come out and give a good valiant effort, their coach is probably gone.
Yeah.
For him to withstand the Memphis loss and then turn around and have a showing at Notre Dame would have been way different. I think if we would have competed and lost on a field goal with a minute left in the fourth quarter,
yes,
I don't think Sam Pittman would have got fired.
No.
I don't think he would have got fired. I think it was the combination between the Memphis and the way we looked at Notre Dame. Something had to be done.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if we would have beat Memphis and even if we would have beat Memphis and lost and still lost the way we did to Notre Dame, Pittman would still be our head coach. And then you're right. If we would have made the Notre Dame game competitive, Pittman would still be our head coach. No doubt about it. Or no doubt about it in my mind anyway. But I'm sitting here looking at it. We've got, I know earlier I said 1 week at a time, but we've got Tennessee this week. We've got A&M following, Auburn following that, Mississippi State, LSU, Texas, Missouri. I in the beginning I said 6-6, and my 6 wins were Alabama, A&M, Arkansas State, Memphis, which we lost, A&M, Auburn, and Mississippi State. The rest, LSU, Texas, Missouri, I'm saying lost. I'm still saying I'm still gonna keep my wins with Auburn and Mississippi State, but A&M, I don't know. I think we dropped one of those 3 wins that I predicted.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and I don't like I said, I'm just gonna keep it week by week. I think this weekend's gonna determine a lot of how we
What you
feel
think coming into the
and
next
what
6
we
games?
and how we're gonna go into the next 6. Absolutely. So we're
Hmm.
playing at what 3:15 Saturday
I think you're right. 3:15 Saturday
at Tennessee, of course. When's the last
at
time
Neyland
yeah,
Stadium.
when's the last time we've played at Neyland? Like I
I looked at it today. I want to say it was about 3 years ago, but I could be wrong.
at Neyland 3 years ago, really?
I want to say, yeah, I posted it on my story. It had all of our last 10 matchups since 99 to now, which is crazy. It's taken us 25 years to play Tennessee 10 times.
Well, back when we
Um,
had divisions, they were one of the 17, rotations every
they were the alternate. Yeah.
7 years or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's why, obviously, that's why. But 6-4 in that, and afraid Tennessee's going to probably make it 6-5 come Saturday. But
Mhm.
I want to point this out though, Bones, is with the firing at the timing, yes, it needed to be done, but I honestly think there was some talk about this
Mhm.
on the Hunter Yurchek's part and the universities. They seen that stadium empty in the third quarter, and they said, "Holy shit, we cannot have this happen the next 7 games.
Yeah.
We've got to find a way to get people to be excited and fill the seats. And there's no other way to do that than fire the coach, make Bobby Petrino the interim, and it will somehow, even though we're 2-3, look what it's done. Everybody's talking about it now.
Mhm.
Even nationally, I've seen it. They're talking about Bobby Petrino being back, leading the Hogs. Sam Pittman got fired. It's created a buzz to where even at a 2-3 team, it's going to fill the seats because it's got our Arkansas fans curious as to what could happen in these
Yeah,
next
I
7 weeks.
maybe because I've seen a ton of. It's not going to be the season ticket holders or a lot of them because they're selling. They're cashing in and selling their tickets and trying to get their face value for them. And I just I'm
Well,
on
I
that.
guarantee you, if we go and we make that a close game against Tennessee, or maybe possibly pull out a miracle and win,
Yeah.
you will see a full stadium come next week
Yeah,
against
yeah, and
A&M.
and we'll need it against A&M, for sure, because
Yeah.
that's a game. But I'm looking at the last in your I did not see your story, so your story, and you might have already said this, but the last 7 games, Arkansas is 5-2 against Tennessee, 5-2,
And I
and
think we had won. I think we had won the 3 or 4 in a row before that to make it
well, we are
six
on
and
a
four.
4-game winning streak right now. So let's go back to October 5th of 2002, the 6 overtime game. We lost that one 38-41. Then we played again in 06 and won 31-14. That was in Fayetteville. Then we played again in 07 in Knoxville and lost 34-13. And then we played again in 2011 at Fayetteville. That was the Joe Adams punt return, 49-7. Then we went to Knoxville in 2015 and won 24-20. And then we won 2020 in Fayetteville, 24-13. And then again last year at the game me and Wes were at and Scott, 19-14. So
So you were saying Arkansas's 5-2,
Arkansas is 5-2 in the last 7 matchups
7 matchups.
against Tennessee,
Yeah.
and we are
Mhm.
1-2 in those 7 matchups in Knoxville. We've played
Yeah.
3 in Knoxville and 4 in Fayetteville, and we're 1-3 in Knoxville. But the last time we were in Knoxville, which is 2015, Bert Bielema, 24-20. We
Oh,
won.
Bert.
Oh, Birdie. Honestly, to be honest, I don't remember that game. Tennessee must have been on a down year. That was that Butch Jones? Was 2015 for Tennessee Butch Jones?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think so. Or
Yeah, I think you're right.
Butch Jones or Who was the other guy, the other coach?
There was Dooley,
Dirk
and then there
Dooley.
was
Yeah, Dirk Dooley.
and then there was Lane Kiffin was at
Yeah,
Tennessee as
Kiffin was
well.
at Tennessee there for a stint.
I just don't. The years all blend together for
I
me, so
know.
it's hard for me to say the years. I know who coached and around about time or as to win, uh, but the years just all blend together now.
Yeah.
I'm getting old.
Let's see. I'm looking it up. 2015. Yeah, Butch Jones. Okay, so that was Butch years. Well, hey, I mean, I like that. I like that record. You know, for us, out of the last 7, 5-2. I mean, maybe we can make it 6-2.
Maybe we got their number. Maybe we got their number.
Maybe we got their
Maybe we
number.
could just show up, and as long as we put our jerseys on and get out there, we can beat them. But I highly doubt it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk. Let's
I
go and
just want
talk
to
about
see
it.
somebody play hard.
Yeah, let's wrap it up and talk about it. I mean, right now we're sitting at 11.5-point underdog. The Vegas is predicting a high scoring game. 68.5 is the over under. So I think
That's went down the last 2 days. That's went down. It started at 13 and a half. It
13
went to
and a
12 and a
half.
half.
Yeah.
Last time I
Yeah.
looked at it, now it's at 11 and a half. So it keeps dropping.
Yeah, it keeps dropping, and it'll end up being probably like a 10 or 9.5 on Saturday before kickoff. I can see that. But you know, per the ranks, the leaders. I mean, Aguilar, their quarterback, has got 13 touchdowns to Taylor Green's 12, 5 interceptions to Taylor Green's 5 interceptions, and 1,459 yards to Taylor Green's right at 1,400 yards. So he's only we've got very very similar style quarterbacks, very similar style stats. We're beating them on lean rushers, which is our lean rusher is also Taylor Green. And then there's a pretty big gap with Omega Blake, our lead receiver, and their Brazel, the second lead receiver. He's a man. He's got 31 receptions and 7 TDs for 531 yards, and Omega Blake's 30 receptions for only 3 TDs and 399 yards. So Brazel's probably going to cause us some issues, and I'm sure Petrino's has lost some sleep over it these last 2 weeks. So
I think what you got to do when you're in this position is you have to obviously focus on the fundamentals and the focus of your team, the effort of your team, controlling what y'all could control. But here's the deal: you can't stop anybody if you can't stop the run.
Yeah.
Because they just drive it right down your throat. We've seen what that looks like. Go look at the Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
If you can't stop the run, it's backbreaking. It's heartbreaking to just get run over, steamrolled every play.
Yeah.
You've got to make this quarterback beat you, is what I'm saying. You got to make him deliver the football accurately, on time, in the right place to the right player each play.
Yeah.
Or as many plays as you can. You have to force that. So I think they're going to sell out on the run, and they're going to make this quarterback beat us, and see what happens.
Yeah, and hopefully, Quincy Rhodes is back to 100%. I know he's been kind of injured the last couple of weeks, and so hopefully the bye week really did us good. Obviously the first part, a lot of distractions, but I want to say Petrino went in and got to work on Sunday, Sunday afternoon or first thing Monday morning, and started putting in the work right there. So I think it's going to be high scoring. I don't know if we hit the over. I'm keeping an L, and I'm going to say 35-28 is my score prediction. 35-28 the Volunteers win, but I hope I'm wrong. Buckman, when we predicted the games on the first episode, we all picked a loss for this one. Buckman is flipping, and he's saying 38-35 Hogs. So Buckman, once again, I hope you're right. Sorry about your Bills, by the way, who lost to the Patriots on Sunday night. So that maybe he's not really celebrating his birthday. Maybe he's just in hiding because he probably thought we were going to grill him on that.
Who knew all it took for Buck to be optimistic about the Hogs is for Pittman to get fired,
yeah,
and Bobby M. Petrino
We probably
to
could have
step
hired
in,
any other
and
coach.
he hasn't even coached more than 2 weeks as the head coach. He hasn't even played a game yet, and the riverboat gambler in Tyler Buckman is trying to
He's
drink the
picking the top.
Kool-Aid
He's picking a
immediately.
top 15 upset right here.
Yeah, just straight out the gate. I'm like, holy
I mean,
crap.
I hope he's right.
I'm not that optimistic. Bones, I'm going to say 42-24, 42-24 Tennessee. And
Man,
I say that just because if I was betting this game and
yeah,
I had no ties to loving Arkansas, being an Arkansas fan, and I was just to look at this on paper, knowing what I know about Arkansas, what they've done the last 3 games, not having their coach anymore, and Tennessee playing at home, I'm going to say this is 42-24, maybe minimum.
yeah.
But I really hope it's closer. I hope it's a one-score game in the fourth quarter, and we somehow find a way to scratch a win out. And I hope it's one-score games like you and Buck have. Uh, but I guess I'll be Buck tonight and say 42-24, Hogs lose.
Well, I mean, Mississippi State got scored 34 on them, and I think our offense is better than Mississippi State for sure.
Was
Whether
that at Mississippi State or was that at Tennessee?
it was at Mississippi State, yeah.
I think that's a huge
Yeah,
difference.
that is, and it went into overtime, that game, if you remember. I think it went into
Yeah,
overtime.
I know
It did.
they almost
Yeah.
beat them.
Yeah,
I
Mississippi
wanted,
State
yeah,
almost.
it was a very good game.
Yeah, and I'm saying that Tennessee's got holes in their defense like we do. I don't think as big a holes as us, but I mean we can score on them, and that's my hope is we can get 28, hang 28 or more on them, and prevent them from outscoring us. But that has not proven true thus far for our defense. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I think I think we'll come out positive. I think we'll come out energetic. Those 11 a.m. start times, man, are killer for the Hogs. Just totally.
They have been.
They have been
We're
for the last
notorious for
10
not playing well at
years.
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see our 11 o'clock kickoff record over the last 10 years. I'll try to have that for next week because it's really bad.
It'd be hard to pull up. You'd have to go through each year and then find the time of the game.
Yeah.
Start adding it up one by one. But it's possible, and I bet it's 20% win total.
Yeah, I mean you're probably right. You got to factor in a lot of those 11 a.m. games too are going to be the first one or two games of no names. And we won those even with the Chad Morris era, but
that'll help. That'll help, but not by much.
Yeah, but a lot of the SEC, I mean, just like this game, I mean, yeah, it's a 3:15 kickoff, but it's a SEC network kickoff, so I don't know if that means the SEC crew is there, like Feinbaum and Tebow and all those guys. I don't know where they're at this week for their campus visit, but it's kind of in between the 2:30 ABC, which is so weird to say instead of the 2:30 CBS game. But the ABC game is 2:30, and then your 6 and 7 o'clock slots are so it's in between there. So maybe we'll have a high view of people looking for something to do and just come out strong and not flat footed. So yeah, I mean I hope we can keep it close, and I hope we see a better showing and better effort on the defensive side for sure.
Yeah, I think just at this point, as a Hog fan, you just want to see a hard-nosed Razorback team play hard and compete. And I think we'd be foolish to try to, beg for wins here. It would sure be nice. Us Hog fans, we need an uplift in football. It's been rough, but all I could ask for is just them come out and really just give it their all.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, hey, as always, go Hogs, and make sure y'all are like I was telling you, Camo. I mean, you noticed it too. We had over 100 views on our episode last week on YouTube. So hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, we'd love to get a like and a subscribe and a comment or something. You know, if you've got a view viewpoint that's different than ours, or you agree or disagree, whatever, just comment on there. And heck, we could even bring a guest on the show if you're watching this and you want to be a guest. You know, we can make that work too. So
We can send you a
um,
link and get you
yeah,
on here.
we can drop you a link and for sure. But yeah, hey, go Hogs, and let's go get a W this weekend. And I'm really hoping next week we're congratulating Buckman on his birthday and a hog victory and getting it right. I'd love nothing more than to tell Buckman he's right about this weekend.
Yeah, me too. Despite my score prediction, let's
Yeah,
down Rocky Top and go Hogs for sure.
yeah, all right, guys, go Hogs. Appreciate everybody. Let's crank up. Let's get the Razorback fight song going.
Whoop pig.
Woo pig.